All right, y'all. Welcome back to Dead Spot Podcast. Here with another Dead Spot Weekly Tiers. Let's get it going. First tier, we got trash / number one pick. We got the Carolina Panthers. Ass. Bryce Young is going to be okay, just not right now. Cardinals, they got Kyler back, but the wins is not coming. And the Patriots, they don't even know what they got going on. But they coming for the first pick. Moving up to in no man's land, the category speaks for itself. You got Chicago. If Justin Fields was good, they'd be in a great spot for next year with 2 top 5 picks. But they might got to use one on the quarterback. The Giants, they just gave Danny Jones $40 million. They have no wins. They suck. The Jets, they ain't even gonna have enough wins for Aaron Rodgers to do the impossible and come back. Tennessee, they got Levy, but if Levy, they got to figure out if he's something, or else that's 2 years in a row with 2 bad quarterbacks. That wasn't it. I don't know. The Falcons, they need to move on from Riddler. The Rams, I think it's time for Matthew Stafford and them to go, but I don't know what they're going to do with him. You got Green Bay. Hey, Jordan Love been hooping. But as far as like trying to make it to the playoffs or something like that, that's over with. It never really had any legs. But Jordan Love is looking pretty decent. You got Washington. I don't know, man. Washington every year just can't get it together. I don't know what to say more about them. And then the Bucks. Baker was looking good for a minute. Not anymore. They're not looking that great. Moving right up the line. We had a little bit of hope, but it's over. The Raiders, they got to 500. They fans got a little excited, but they're the Raiders, so they're back under. The Bengals, obviously Joe Burrow went out. Hate to see that. Season's over without him. Chargers, I don't know, man. I think they got to get a new coach. I don't see how they can't get. They defense then gave up as many yards as they offered. They point total is about the same. They can't get out their own way. The Colts, obviously, Anthony Richardson got hurt. They was making a little run with Minshew and them. That's over with. We'll see you next year with A. Rich. Denver Broncos, they thought they had it for a minute. They're like, wait a minute, Sean Payton. No, they're not making it off. See you when we see you. Moving up a line, can make the playoffs, but a first-round exit. All of these teams, most of them probably will get in or have a shot to get in, but I don't see them making no noise. Seattle, as they just proved yesterday, and then they proved when they played the Ravens, when they play good teams, they get smoked. So when they get to the playoffs, guess who's going to be there? Good teams. They getting smoked. Moving right along to the Vikings, obviously they got no Kirk. We don't know if Jetta's even coming back this season. So if they do sneak in, they just took a spot from somebody that might have had a chance because they're getting cooked. The Saints, I've been telling y'all since before the season, ass. They in a weak-ass division, so they probably make the playoffs. But if the Saints get into the playoffs, I guarantee, I don't care who they play, it's probably going to be the Cowboys, and they probably going to get smoked. Moving on, Houston, hey, man, I'm feeling the young quarterback. I'm here for it. Tank Dell, everything that they got going to receivers, I like everything. Noah Brown, they ain't beat nobody in the playoffs this first year. But if they was to get there, that would be great for them. Hey, the Steelers, I had them winning the division. I don't know what they're doing out there. They just fired their OC. Maybe they can get it together a little bit and they might can move around. But right now, if they make it, they getting smoked. Then you got the Bills. I personally was going to put them a little bit lower, but they're 6-5. They got a really tough schedule to finish out. They got to play the Eagles still. They got to play the Chiefs still. They got to play the Dolphins, I think, in Miami. So they got a lot of tough games to come. I think they play the Chargers as well, who's still always pretty much be a tough team. So I think it'll be hard for them to get in, but I think they can find a way to sneak in. But I don't believe in them no more, man. I don't see it, man. I think if they do make it, they getting smoked. Moving up a line, contenders with a caveat, though. So you have the Browns, who's sitting there at 7-3. But do you really think that they young rookie quarterback going to beat somebody in the playoffs or can take them on a Super Bowl run, even with that great of defense? I don't know. The Miami Dolphins look great against teams that's kind of low or when they at home, but when they play against really, really good teams and they have to go on the road or something like that, they do not win them games. So can they get a 1 seed or can they play good enough to where they can find a way to get home field all the way through? We'll see. The Ravens, listen, man, they just lost Mark Andrews. That changes everything for them. I still think they have a little bit of a shot because Lamar is that good and they defense been playing really well and they run game is obviously elite, but without Mark Andrews, I feel like it's tough to make that shake. Odell and them going to have to really step up on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Bateman going to have to really step up. I'm going to need to see it. Dallas, look, they've been playing good. They lost to us in embarrassing fashion. They've been playing good since. But it's still like we don't see them win big games. And when that moment comes, if you look at who they beat, they still have yet to win a big game this season. So for Dallas, I need to see them come up and get one or somewhere I can be like, okay, maybe I could believe a little bit. Right now, it's like, Okay, you beating who you're supposed to, which is not easy to do in the NFL. Teams lose to teams they're not supposed to all the time. So for them to be doing that, that's still good. But I need to see a little bit more if I can move them up. The Lions, they just showed you yesterday. Listen, the Lions have a good record, but at the end of the day, they're still the Lions. Jared Goff is still not he's not an elite quarterback. So it's going to be days where he looks like he did yesterday, where it's just kind of like off. I just don't see them making it too far off, even though they have a good team with a good record. Then you look at the Jags. I don't know. I like the Jags. I like what they bring to the table. I'm just like, I don't know if they have enough vets around them to make that run. A lot of their better players are young guys, so that they kind of just riding off on that. And Trevor Lawrence haven't looked as good as I wanted him to look this season. So I still got a few questions with them before I can move them up and say that they can really make a run. Coming up another line, we got top contenders. Obviously, we got the San Francisco 49ers. When you look at the Niners, man, they loaded on both ends of the both sides. They got good defenders. They got some great offensive players, special teams even. You know what I'm saying? We just lost Hufanga, but our young guy, Jair Brown, he stepped up big, so hopefully he can continue to fill that void. I think we got action at making a run at it, man. I think we do. I know we had a little rough stretch in there. We're 8-3, though. If we didn't lose 3 in a row and we'd have just spread out those 3 losses and one loss in week 2 and week 6 and week 9, wouldn't nobody even be having no problem with us at 8-3. But since we lost them 3 in a row, it was that little bit of, what the Niners gonna do. We 8-3, we chilling, we move on. We play the Eagles this week. We ready to run up in their house. Then the next top contender, we got the Chiefs. I know they lost to the Eagles, and again, they should have won if Brett could have just caught the touchdown. That's neither here nor there, though. But I still think we look at the way their defense played. Their defense gave up a little bit in the second half, but I gave up some points in the second half. But I do think their defense been playing really good all season, and I will never count out Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce in the playoff game, especially when there's no other team in the AFC that can set themselves apart. I'm not taking them off that line with nobody in it. I could see if the Eagles or the Niners was on that side and they had to maybe, but they're in the side with a bunch of teams that's not even. I don't know if I'm not picking none of them over the Chiefs, me personally. And then you got team up top. They keep their spot. The Eagles. They went into Kansas City. They got a tough win. They did not come out good. The Chiefs came out, got on them. I think it was 17-7. The Chiefs had a chance to run away with it. The Eagles hung around. They scored when they need to, and they pulled out a win. Whether you want to say the guy dropped the touchdown, and if he would have caught that, it would have been different. I'll say that. But it didn't happen. He dropped it. So, hey, they won. They battled. They did what they were supposed to do. They went up against one of the other best teams in the league, and they won. So we've been asking for them to beat a good team. We've been asking for them to pull out game. They pulled it out against the best player in the football. Got to keep their spot up top. Then my tiers for the week. We out. Peace.